The CAA season begins in Boys Creek, North Carolina, as the defending champs and preseason favorites UNCW Seahawks take on their old rivals, the Campbell Fighting Camels. What a Friday night here in North Carolina. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in with former Camel Colin Wolfe. I'm Chris Sameyer. UNCW, mid-30s RPI, top 20 strength of schedule so far this season. They haven't missed a beat from their championship year last year. What makes them so tough?
Well, I think it's been their pitching staff, Chris. Pitching to a team ERA of 3.68, doing well on the defensive side as well, fielding .977 as a team, just really putting it together on the defensive side of the ball.
They found their bullpen as well, and they have some heavy hitters at the top of the lineup, including Tanner Thatch. He's a preseason All-American and a preseason Golden Spikes Award watch list member.
Yeah, Tanner Thatch, a guy who's going to have plenty of eyes on him tonight, leading the team in hits, RBIs, and home runs early in the season. He'll be in the two-hole tonight, Chris.
There are a bunch of scouts here to see him, but they'll probably notice a Campbell transfer from Wichita State. Darnell Parker Jr., he's at the top of the lineup, and he's playing a good shortstop.
Yeah, this guy, ever since he switched to the top of the lineup, Chris, he's been an on-base machine, leading team in hit, average, and hit by pitches as well. Look for him on the bases and playing a solid shortstop so far this season.
We've got some great pitchers to tell you about as well, and we'll do that after the break. A Friday night at Jim Perry Stadium, UNCW and Campbell.
We are not merely an institution of higher education. We are transforming lives and empowering students to become leaders.
Leaders in our communities,
in our state, and throughout the world.
Leaders in innovation.
Leaders in service to our neighbors.
Join our movement. Join our community. Join our mission. Lead with purpose. Lead with Campbell.
I'm John Mark. And I'm DJ. We're part of your Fighting Camel football team. Just like a quarterback needs his offensive line to protect him in the pocket, you and your family need a trusted insurance provider to protect your home, auto, life, and business.
Number 32, Jake Murray.
Magnum Insurance is an orange-owned agency with better prices and better service, and they can customize the policy that fits you.
So give Magnum Insurance a call today or stop by one of their convenient locations. Their quotes are done.
Roll up.
It has been a long journey for Jake Murray. He joined this team from Wake Tech in 2022. He got just through 8 appearances in 2023 with injury. Didn't pitch for a year and a half, but he has made up for that. He has been really, really good this year on Friday night. He's 1-2, 4.21 ERA. 2 starts ago against Texas State, he struck out 14, walked 1. In 6 innings pitch, and that has always been the big thing about him, his control. This year it is stellar, 40 strikeouts to 5 walks.
Yeah, and really working with 2 pitches, right? That 94, 95-mile-an-hour fastball, working towards the top of the zone and breaking off that excellent curveball off of it, trying to get back foot to the righties, and the lefties haven't been able to hit it either, Chris.
When you take a look at UNCW, they are a top-heavy team, but those guys at the top of their lineup are really, really good. Hitting .269 as a team, just 13 home runs. They have played a really, really tough schedule. They have some impressive win, and there is Tanner Thatch there, the first baseman, batting second. He is the preseason player of the year, coming off a summer where he was in the Cape, and he has lived up to it. UNCW trying to put some pieces around him to protect him. Kevin Jones will start things off, hitting .329 on the year, takes the first pitch upstairs. Jones, the shortstop. Home run, 10 RBIs, 3 doubles, and a couple of triples. Goes after the high, hard one at 91 miles an hour, and the count 1-1. UNCW comes into this game 11-10, but do not let that record fool you. They are 36th in the nation in RPI because of the schedule that they have played. Misses away. And the wins that they have racked up. But as we talked about, this is game 1 of the gauntlet that is the CAA baseball season. This is when it counts. 2-1, fouled off of the fists and off the umpire, and the count goes to 2-2. They have a win against a top 5 at the time ranked team in Georgia. Took a series from Liberty, took a win at 20th ranked Southern Miss. That schedule that's in the top 20 strength of schedule on the season. They're hot. They've won 3 of 4. Count to Kevin Jones is 3-2, and that is way upstairs for ball 4.
Leadoff walk for Wilmington to get this series going. Jake Murray trying to find it with the fastball. Had a curveball there that just missed the inside part of the plate. Looking to test the Campbell defense early, Chris.
He was disappointed in that call by Richard Riley. With the runner on now, he'll deal with Thatch, goes after that first pitch and pops it straight up in the air. Parker in shallow left field makes the call and the catch. So the preseason All-American goes after the first one and pops it high. And there is out number 1. And that is the thought of a really good player thinking since he just walked the leadoff man, he's going to groove me one that he's going to think I'm going to watch, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely being aggressive, and a guy like Jake Murray who wants to get back in the zone, it's not as easy as you commit to the fastball and you hit it, right? Got 2 good pitches and looking to execute them here early.
Richard Riley is not giving much to that curveball at the bottom of the zone. The count 1-0 to Trevor Lucas. Lucas, the third baseman, comes up from the right side. Way outside, Andy Schultz doing the catching behind the plate, makes a good grab. Jones has 4 stolen bases in 4 attempts. On first base, Lucas has started all 22 games. He's got a home run and 15 RBIs. Again, not a lot of power on this team. Misses high. Jones on first after the leadoff walk. Fed in there for a called strike. You had mentioned test the Campbell defense early. Errors have been a problem for Campbell. Range has been a problem for Campbell on the infield. They have a couple guys learning new positions and learning on the fly because of injuries. 3-1. And that misses high, ball 4. So we talked about the fact that one of the things that has made Jake Murray so special this year, only the 5 walks to the 46 strikeouts this year, and that's through 5 appearances, 25 2/3 innings. He hasn't walked more than 1 batter in a game, and he has 2 walks here in the first inning.
Yeah, a little bit of an uncharacteristic start. Trying to find that fastball here early. But like you said, it's a very top-heavy Seahawk lineup, so you want to be able to find it. You'll take your walks. You won't, as opposed to maybe a double or something like that. Getting through Tanner Hatch, lefty was huge. Thatch, excuse me.
Zelinka, the DH, up from the right side, cleaning up. Takes a strike on the inside corner. 2 on, both via the walk. Just 1 out. First inning. Campbell has given up 17 runs in the first inning, the most of any inning for the Campbell defense. Here's the 1-1. Ugly swing, called strike, and the count goes to 1-2. Zelinka, home run, 10 RBI. This is just his 9th start of the season. Plenty of speed on the base pass. High, the count 2-2. UNCW sweeping Campbell last year. These 2 teams have played a lot. This is the 106th meeting, but just the second year they've been in the same conference. Count now runs to 3-2. Campbell 42-63 all time versus the Seahawks. One of the many great things about Campbell being in the CAA is this rivalry is now a conference rivalry. 3-2, runners go, fouls it back to the screen. So Murray in a little bit of trouble here early by his own doing. Campbell losing to Coastal in the midweek, giving up a couple of early runs. Swung on and missed. That'll help. The strikeout puts 2 away.
Good job by Zelenka fighting off that 3-2 curveball the pitch before, but Murray comes back with the heater on the inside corner. And 92 has a little bit of run, so you kind of have to commit to it if you're going to get to it as a righty on the inside part of the plate, but gets the swing and a miss.
Alec DiMartino up, the right fielder batting 5th. Still 2 on, still trouble for Campbell. And that'll load him. Murray has hit a team-high 9 batters this year.
Just a first pitch curveball that ends up releasing a little bit late and hits him in the front leg. Loads the bases, but like we talked about, just kind of uncharacteristic, but has the swing and miss stuff as well.
Cole Nelson, the left fielder, up, goes after the first pitch and pops it up. This is a tough time with the sun where it is, and coming in is Music. In the sun, he pulls it down. UNCW loads the bases with a couple of walk and a hit batsman, but Murray gets out of it. We go to the bottom of the first inning. It's Seahawks nothing. Camels coming up. Zane Taylor is one of the very good starting pitchers in the strength of this UNCW team, the starting rotation. His numbers sensational. He is 5-0 with a 2.78 ERA, and that is the quote-unquote worst ERA of the 3 weekend guys. But he's got 5 wins in those 5 starts, 5-0. He's pitched a complete game, 32 1/3 innings. He has struck out 38, walked 2, and has not hit a batter. That is a starting pitcher. That is an experienced pitcher that is locked in.
Yeah, and from a hitter's perspective, you kind of have 2 choices here. You either be aggressive and try to hit the fastball early, or you try to work to have him throw more pitches and get him out of the game early. As we'll take a look at the lineup with Parker hitting leadoff. We highlighted him earlier. Obviously kind of the spark that Campbell has needed, playing shortstop as well. But Joey Morton, honestly, is a guy for me, left-handed bat who's played a solid defense over at first base as well. Look for him this series to hopefully have a couple big hits.
So Campbell, as a team, hitting .259. That is below what UNCW has done. Campbell with a coaching change. Their longtime coach, Justin Hare, who had been with this program as an assistant associate and a head coach, left after a decade and a half, went to Ohio State, and one of his former assistants, Chris Marks, took over. Darnell Parker Jr. goes after the first pitch. It's a flare to center field. Late jump Gillespie, and it's going to fall in. Gillespie got a late jump again. The sun is drilling down into you if you're an outfielder, and that's going to be a leadoff hit for what we said is the spark plug at the top of this Campbell lineup.
Yeah, looking to be aggressive, like I mentioned. Gets a little lucky. You'll take these hits when you're going well, and drops one in between the triangle out there in right center field for a base hit.
So Campbell has the leadoff man on. Parker has stolen 9 bases this year and has been caught just once. Campbell, 44 stolen bases this year. They have been caught 10 times. Bunt, and bunted straight up in the air, and Dalen Thompson is out number 1. And with a pitcher as good as Taylor in early bunt, even at the top of the lineup, makes sense because you're not going to get many chances with guys on base.
Yeah, and honestly, with the run that Taylor gets on his fastball, it's going to be a tougher ball to bunt than it typically would be from anybody else, right? Obviously, Taylor being elite, but I like the idea, trying to use the speed. He had a couple bunt hits last week in the series at home against UConn, so it's not like he can't do it, just ended up popping one up there.
Jonah Oster, the batter from the right side. So Taylor gets that pop up. There's 1 out, 1 on. That's 94 miles an hour off the outside corner. 32 1/3 innings, just 10 earned runs, 27 hits. Batter's hitting .218 against him. The right-hander comes set. Good lead at first from Parker Jr., and Taylor notices that as well and sends it over to first base. Campbell 8-12 so far this season. They've played a tough schedule as well and have played better as of late, just like UNCW. Popped foul out of play. UNCW has won 3 of their last 4. They took a series last week at home against Charlotte, and they took down the Pirates of East Carolina down in Fayetteville on Tuesday. Campbell coming off back-to-back weekend series wins against Texas State and UConn. UConn went to a super regional last year. Both of those at home. 1-1, runner goes, popped foul out of play.
Parker with a great jump at first base. Potentially a called, hit and run, but it was such a good jump. You always hope that the hitter's able to see that and take, but Oster takes a hack and fouls it off.
So even if the hit and run sign is on, do you pull it back, or is that just one, if it wasn't on, you can kind of...
Yes. Yeah, if it is on, you're swinging no matter what. It's tough to know. But with how good Parker timed up his jump, if the hit and run wasn't on, that's something as a hitter you kind of see out of the corner of your eye, and you let Parker take the chance.
Oster, big power threat for this Campbell team. 4 home runs on the year. Runner goes again with a good jump, and that is 1 hop to short. Because Parker was going, there was no chance for the double play. That's a big out number 2, but Campbell has a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, like you said, this ball is hit very hard. Oster, not a great runner, but Parker going on at the right time, really. Ends up staying out of the double play, but especially with Oster hitting, I like to see Parker in motion just in general. His speed plays up, especially at home, just really, really plus runner. So trying to give yourself scenarios where your hitters have chances with runners in scoring position is always going to be important, especially with a guy like Zane Taylor on the bump.
Taylor delivers the first pitch as a strike. Andy Schultney's been the most consistent hitter for Campbell this year, hitting .333 just like Parker, but he has 4 home runs, 22 ribbies, and 9 doubles. Checks his swing, takes a strike. Darnell Parker at second. Campbell trying to draw first blood. UNCW without a hit, loaded the bases, couldn't get anybody home. And Campbell threatening here in the bottom of the first. The 0-2. Looked to get him to chase. He would not at 94 miles an hour. Campbell 4-3 in their last 7 games. Coming off a loss to Coastal Carolina on Tuesday. Swung on a miss, strike 3. Got him to chase a breaking ball and Campbell strands a runner in scoring position. Little bit shaky from the Friday night aces, but they get out of it unscathed. We go to the second, UNCW nothing, Campbell's nothing.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And you know, we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
It's all about the deal at Capital Ford of Wilmington. That's why we're lowering all our prices. Don't miss these huge savings across our massive inventory of new and used vehicles. We make it easy to buy used with confidence. Always backed by our VIP protection plan, a 3-month, 3,000-mile no-cost premium warranty. Plus, we do extensive reconditioning for all our pre-owned vehicles. At Capital Ford of Wilmington, we're all about the deal. The lowest price, the lowest payment, the lowest interest rate, and the most for your trade. Visit us today or shop online at capitalfordofwillington.com.
Good crowd on hand here tonight, expecting a good crowd tomorrow as well. Fireworks after the game tonight and every conference Friday night. Boy, you want to talk about a home stand for the Camels. Campbell is in the midst of 19 of 20 at home, as Campbell will actually hit the road for their first series coming up next weekend in Charleston, since the very first series of the year that was at UC Santa Barbara. Campbell at UC Santa Barbara the 14th through the 16th, the first series of the year. And then they came home of 19 of 20, and their only road trip was 45 minutes up the road at NC State. Here's Brian Arndt up from the right side, and the pitch just misses low. It'll be the bottom of the lineup, Arndt, Thompson, and Gillespie from UNCW. Got a couple of walks and a hit batsman. Loaded the bases, couldn't get anybody home. That ball is hit a ton to right field. Drifting back is Schramm, still going back, and he makes the catch. There's that short wall against the hump area in right, but he's able to pull it down for out number one.
Yeah, you like to see Jake Murray getting into the zone early, and this ball is actually driven pretty well, but no wind blowing out or anything. Whenever that happens, Chris, you know Jim Perry Stadium's going to play a little bit bigger. So we've kind of seen that. Haven't seen too many home runs here this year. Obviously, plenty of talent prior to this year that could leave the yard, but really from both sides, this park has played big so far this year.
Brady Thompson, the batter, he takes the first pitch outside, Charlotte, North Carolina native. Next pitch, check swing, called strike. Thompson making his fourth start of the season, hitting .364, no homers and an RBI. .462 on base percentage. 1-1, fouled back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 61 degrees, a little cool with that wind blowing, sitting in the shade. The wind between 5 and 10 miles an hour. It's going to be pretty nice for the rest of the weekend. Here's the 1-2. Misses away. 74 and sunny tomorrow, 70 on Sunday. 3 o'clock start tomorrow, 2 o'clock on Sunday. All the games right here on Flo. 2-2. Called strike at the knees, the punch out. And Jake Murray, after a little bit of lack of control early, he seems to have tuned it in here in inning number 2.
Yeah, gets the freshman to start looking for off speed and then fires a fastball right on the outside corner, dotted at 92 for out number 2.
Matt Gillespie, the only UNCW Seahawk that has not seen the plate, is at the plate here. The center fielder takes a big hack at the first pitch and comes up empty. Gillespie hitting .230. 5 doubles, no homers, 8 RBI. That pitch up high. Gillespie from Apex, North Carolina, just up the road. UNCW continuing to do what they have done for these 2 decades of success. They have a whole lot of dudes from North Carolina on their team. Here's a 1-1. Misses up high. There are only 4 players on this current UNCW roster not from North Carolina. The 2-1 from Murray in there for a called strike.
Do you think Campbell has ever had anything close to that?
And that just goes to kind of how Campbell really started this golden age of their baseball program. 2-2, called strike. 1-2-3. Taylor has been zoned in. We will get back to that, North Carolina, and how Campbell makes up their roster. But Campbell, a big basketball announcement yesterday. University of Florida assistant coach John Anderschick coming to Campbell. He's playing up the road tonight in Raleigh, but we caught up with him yesterday after the announcement was made that he's our new coach.
Campbell fans, I'm so excited to be your new head men's basketball coach. The Buies Creek community is filled with the type of warm, genuine people that I love to be around. I can't wait to dive into the community, get to know each and every one of you. I know you'll accept me and my fiance with open arms. Right now, I'm focused on our special Florida Gator basketball team. We got a chance to go a long way, but it starts tomorrow with this game against Norfolk State. I owe it to these guys to do everything I can to help us reach our goals and cut down the nets. In the near future, I will get to meet with the Campbell team. I'll get to talk with them and share my vision for the program, and we'll be able to find out if there are some young men with the great attitudes, great work ethics, and pride in the program that it'll take to get us back where we belong, competing for championships. I'm so excited to be here. I can't wait to meet you all and do this thing together. Roll Humps.
UNCW Seahawk fans hoping that they won't have to have a new head coach announcement. Of course, the Seahawks coming off their NCAA tournament appearance. They played really well against Texas Tech in Wichita. And, of course, when you have a head coach like UNCW does, Coach Siddle always rumored for jobs, but he might just stay at the beach. We'll see. So Campbell really happy about their pull, and he will obviously be working right away. Has already met with the team. Convenient that he was just up the road in Raleigh. Here's Joey Morton. Popped down the left field line, giving it a look, measuring it, and then in foul territory making an awkward catch, but it works for Nelson for out number 1. But the new Campbell head coach will stay with Florida through their run, of course, a number 1 seed. A lot of people think they could make the Final Four and then some, so a lot of Campbell fans, now Florida Gator fans for the next 3 weeks. Here's Charlie Meglio. Meglio up from the right side. The third baseman out of New Jersey for Campbell. Checks his swing and takes a strike. Meglio hitting .217 on the season, couple home runs, 3 doubles. Taylor delivers and delivers a called strike. Meglio backs out of the box. Comes back in, Charlie the sophomore. Stays away from that pitch. Outside, ball 1.
It makes for a tough at bat when the leadoff hitter goes and gets out first pitch. Meglio not necessarily forced to take, but kind of puts you in a little bit more of a take mode for that first pitch.
Called strike. Got him on the outside corner. Second strikeout of the night from Taylor, and he, much like Campbell's starter Murray, looked like they have both kind of zeroed in here after a little bit of an uneven first inning for both starters.
Yeah, just a little bit of two-seam action there on the 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Painted right on the outside corner to Meglio for the second out of the inning.
Here's Lucas Schramm, the right fielder. Schramm making his 6th start of the season. 5 for 17, 7-run scores, has a home run and 4 RBIs. Altogether hitting just under 300. Misses away. We talked about Campbell, that 8-12 record. 4-3 though in their last 7. 2 straight weekend series wins. The 2-0. Drops in there for a called strike. There's more to that record. They played a schedule really tough too coming into last weekend, top 20 in the country in strength of schedule. They've had 5 one-run losses. Here's a 2-1. Fouled back to the screen.
Yeah, Chris, I would say as well as they have played, obviously you talked about the close losses, their record, a lot of fans could say, oh, it could be flipped, right? You win half those games, right? You're looking closer to 500, all that stuff. But I would really like them to see them put together a complete game.
That ball hit the other way off the bat of Schramm, drifting over and making the call and the catch. The Martin. We'll talk more about that when we come back after the break. We go to the 3rd. Friday Night Guys have locked in. Welcome back to Bowie's Creek, Camel Call podcast. Every other week, a Tales from the Creek podcast. Our longtime media communications director and now in community relations and alumni relations, Stan Cole, brings you with a former Campbell coach, student athlete that has made this place great. Camel Call podcast will get you caught up with everything in Campbell sports in between there. And we actually have a Camel Call Live coming up this Thursday at Napper Tandy's in Ancher from 6 to 7. We would love to see you out. Emily Corsoni, softball head coach in her first year, the former Auburn star, is making a heck of a debut. Campbell softball taking down Towson today, so the Camels have won 12 straight, now 7-0 in the CAA, including a first weekend 3-game sweep in Bowie's Creek of UNCW, last year's champions. Here's Kevin Jones. First pitch misses down low. So Campbell softball off to a great start. Campbell and UNCW, of course, met in the championship game of the CAA tournament last year. UNCW coming out on top. Pitch misses upstairs to Jones. So second time through the lineup here. It'll be the top of the lineup. Jones, Thatch, and Lucas. Jones, the shortstop, walked his first time up, ahead in this count 2-0. Swung on and missed. Jones hitting .329, on base percentage .443. .464 though when leading off an inning. Pops up. That will go back and get out of play. Andy Schultz, the catcher, defensively for Campbell. Meglio at third, Parker at short, Oster at second, Morton at first. Music is in left, Thompson in center, Schramm out in right field. 2-2. Got the curveball this time, drops in, hits the inside corner. It's a punch out, the third straight, fourth of the game for Murray.
This is kind of how his starts go. Looking like he's starting to settle in a little bit. That ball out of the hand, the hitter almost gives up on it sometimes because it's so high, and after seeing 92, 93 towards the top, you tend to not swing at it and able to clip the corner.
Misses up high to Thatch, and again, that was the pitch that he wasn't able to get first time through, but you're right, he was looking as sharp as he has been. He had one bad inning last weekend against UConn. Strike on the outside corner.
It was interesting, in that inning you're talking about, the 6-run fourth for UConn on last Friday night. It was a kind of an entire lineup mentality shift to start attacking the fastballs up.
Popped up. Parker thinks he has it himself and will make the call and the catch.
Yeah, so what happened was almost every right-handed hitter for UConn started specifically looking for that fastball towards the top of the plate, or excuse me, towards the top of the zone, and was willing to hit it wherever it was pitched instead of waiting to see, is it a fastball, is it that hammer curveball. So that was the switch that they made. That was really the only team so far that was able to make the adjustment. Every fastball we've seen from Jake Murray that's been on the inside half tonight, he's gotten swings.
Yep.
But fastballs up and out, he hasn't really gotten any. So seems like the plan is to sit fastball and react, but that might not work.
Trevor Lucas, the batter, walked his first time up. Strike. And the count's quickly 0-2. Yeah, Murray basically one bad inning in his last two starts, and again a 14 strikeout effort 2 starts ago. Friday night man rocks and fires and gets the curveball swing and a miss for his 5th strikeout of the game. He's retired 7 in a row as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. What a Friday night start for both the Birds and the Humps. A little bit cooler in the low 60s. It'll get chilly tonight. Going to be up more to where you expect at this time of year in the 70s for Saturday and Sunday, both day games 3 and 2. As Campbell wraps up what is this 19 home, 19 of 20 at home, including 10 straight to end this home stand. There's a look at Jim and Daphne Perry Pavilion. Of course, Jim Perry, Cy Young Award winner for the Minnesota Twins, one of Campbell's most favored alums. Campbell, as you can imagine, with so front-loaded on the home schedule and 2 of their first 3 CAA series at homes, they are road warriors on the back end. Here's Jackson Thompson to start things off. DHing tonight, batting 8th for Campbell. That ball misses low. Campbell, after Sunday, 21 of their next/last 32 on the road. They have just 11 more home games after Sunday. Incredible. 1-0. Strike on the outside corner. Of course, with so many games at home and a lot of midweek games that were at home as well, you have to go back on the road for those. Campbell's figured out some things here at home, however. The 1-1 misses down low.
I will say, if there's one thing that I could pinpoint about this Campbell team so far, right, through the first 20 games, is there's a lot of fight in the second half of these games.
Yep.
I would like to see them get off to a hot start. Obviously, tonight's going to be a super tall task in facing Taylor, so we get a pop-up here to the infield.
Drifting out to short. Calling the catch will be made by Jones.
But the way that they have fought, and that doesn't necessarily equate to wins, but they have always been in games. We talked about it off air. 7 losses so far of their 12 have been within 3 runs, and 5 of those 7 are 1 run. So it's not like they haven't had their chances. They haven't gotten, probably less big hits as you typically would, just playing their percentages. But I've definitely liked the way, giving the inexperience of a lot of these guys and just working together. First 20 games, they've put up a lot of fight in the second half. I'd like to see that kind of continue, as well as put together some front-end games as well and start to get to 500, see if you can punch through, get a couple more wins, and see if you can get this thing rolling.
Jet Music, the batter. The count 2-0. Music, the true freshman, hitting .333. Comes up empty, and it's a called strike.
That's a second 2-0 slider. The first one was to the 7-hitter Schramm, and then he does it to the 9-hitter Music. That's brutal.
2-1. Misses away. 3 balls and 1 strike. It's a Campbell team that, again, you can see greatly improving, and it was a lot of new pieces with a new coaching staff. Here's a 3-1. That ball hit towards the gap in left, long run, and nobody's going to get there. Good to be cut off by Gillespie, but it's still going to be a double, and a stand-up double at that by the true freshman Jet Music. From the 9-hole, he'll turn it back over up to the dangerous top part of the order for Campbell.
Yeah, Music able to turn on this 91-mile-an-hour fastball and get just enough of it to be out of the reach of the center fielder. Stand-up double with his speed. That's what Campbell has to do. Get into a hitter's count, force Taylor to have to throw the ball in the middle third of the plate, and then execute a good swing. Got another chance with a runner in scoring position for the top part of the order.
That's only the 6th extra base hit that Taylor has given up in 6 starts. Here's Darnell Parker Jr., third baseman, pulled in, maybe expecting a bunt with Parker's speed. It misses on the outside corner. All or nothing with Zane Taylor. He has given up now 6 extra base hits. 2 of them have been doubles. 4 of them have been home runs. Parker singled his first time up. Waits on that pitch, and he hits it in almost the same area. It's going to get down. Music comes around to score. Campbell leads 1-0 here in the bottom of the third, thanks to the RBI double by Darnell Parker Jr. Back-to-back doubles for the Humps here in the bottom of the third.
Just goes to this at-bat with an incredible plan. Came up in the first at-bat, swung at the first fastball for a jam single. This one, he waits for the slider, ends up hammering it into the gap, and they trade places, and Campbell takes a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the third.
Dalen Thompson, the batter. He, on a bunt attempt, popped it up to the pitcher. Hit a long way to left field. That ball is gone. Dalen Thompson's first home run of the season. And UNCW's Friday night ace has given up 3 straight extra base hits and has been touched up for 3 runs here in the third.
We've been waiting for this, right? I predicted on Tuesday he was going to leave the yard, but I was wrong that night. I should have waited until Friday. This ball's demolished off the bat of Dalen Thompson. 107, and he knew it right off the bat. We talked about them potentially finding a way to punch through early, get on the board. Jake Murray's been fighting through the first inning, had a dominant second and third, but can this offense punch early? And we saw it right there, 3-0 lead in the bottom of the third. Just a phenomenal plan so far, especially the second time around in the order.
And that plan being?
Well, you saw that Jet Music was able to get to the fastball, right? So then Darnell Parker was sitting slider the whole time, and he was able to hit it as well.
Popped up. That ball is going to get out of play.
So you saw it kind of went, okay, I'm going to hunt fastball here, especially in a 3-1 count. Music hits the double. Then you have Parker say, okay, second time through, I had a hit on a fastball the first time. Maybe I'm going to try and sit slider here. He gets it, hammers a double. Then you have Dalen who said, I popped up a bunt the first time. Maybe I'm just going to be aggressive on the first strike I see. Gets the fastball and hits it 390 plus over the fence.
Yep.
So it's at bat to at bat, but this is team play. You're learning from the guy in front of you, playing situational baseball, and then how many times are you going to get 3 extra base hits in a row? They've capitalized on their opportunity.
I mean, again, this is Zane Taylor. We told you his crazy numbers coming in, 5-0, 2.78 ERA. He has only given up 5 extra base hits coming into this inning all season. Campbell has tagged him for 3. Oster can't catch up with that. Taylor rebounds with the strikeout, 2 away. That was 107 miles per hour, as you said, off the bat. That equals the hardest hit home runs of the year for Campbell, Oster, and Parker Jr. Did that each at Georgia Southern. Thompson has been swinging a hot bat after a slow start. Here's Andy Schultz, strikeout victim to end the first. Can't catch up with that pitch. Schultz, redshirt sophomore, 5'9", 190, out of Cornelius, North Carolina. Campbell catcher stands in. Taylor trying to stop the bleeding here in the third. Swung on and missed, strike 2. So Campbell with 3 runs here in the third, back-to-back doubles and a 2-run home run from Dalen Thompson. Taylor just misses off the outside corner. Zane Taylor, the senior, 6 foot 200 pounds, out of Franklinton, North Carolina. Preseason all CAA. Misses down low. His most uneven outing was last time out against Charlotte. Picked up the win, but went 7 innings. 5 innings, gave up 7 hits and 4 earned runs. 2-2. Popped foul out of play, and he stays alive. This UNCW starting pitching tandem or should I say weekend rotation, Marshburn, Bagwell, Taylor. All ERAs under 2.78. Taylor has the highest of them, and he got touched up for 3 earned here in the third. Schultz strikes out, but Campbell strings together 3 straight for 3 runs. We're a third of the way through. Opening night in the CAA. Campbell leads the defending champs 3-0.
This is where everything starts. It's a place of new beginnings, new opportunities, and a new identity. We are the Coastal Athletic Association, and from the beaches to the city streets, we are united to succeed at an elite level, in competition, in our communities, in our lives. This is the tide that lifts us, the fire that burns inside all of us. This is our moment, our new chapter. We are the CAA, and we are united in excellence.
We are not merely an institution of higher education. We are transforming lives and empowering students to become leaders.
Leaders in our communities.
In our state and throughout the world.
Leaders in innovation.
Leaders in service to our neighbors.
Join our movement. Join our community. Join our mission. Lead with purpose. Lead with Campbell.
Dalen Thompson. Yeah, that was a no-doubter. Tough to get no-doubters in this ballpark with the way it's been playing this year, but that one was just hammered. And again, Dalen Thompson, emotional guy, that could go a long way for Campbell here in the first. A long way to go, but he talked about Campbell seemingly always playing from behind, and to give them a 3-run lead here early, it's amazing what a little shot of confidence can do.
Yeah, what happens when you're playing behind or from behind is you can't really deploy all areas of your offense, right? All ways that you want to attack the defense. You kind of just have to swing and hope. And a lot of times they've actually been able to do that pretty well and get the team's bullpens. There's a first strike there to Zelenka. But Dalen Thompson, 8 hits last weekend, really in a 24-hour span because we went the doubleheader on Saturday against UConn. But finally finding his form. Again, we talked about he's a guy that you got to let him go through what he's going to go through. And then he's also a guy who can flip a game upside down, right, and really impact the game from an offensive standpoint like he has so far.
1-1 to Zelenka. It's a strike on the inside corner. It'll be Zelenka, DiMartino, and Nelson 4, 5, and 6. Zelenka struck out in the first. Strike. Inside corner at the knees. Zelenka just throws his arms up in protest as Jake Murray throwing darts out there.
Yeah, this fastball 93 miles an hour on the inside corner, dots it up. Been able to locate that fastball ever since the first inning, and his velocity, Chris, has started to tick up a little bit. Seems like he's starting to feel a little bit better, more confident up there.
Alec DiMartino, the batter. He was hit by a pitch in the first. He was the last UNCW batter to reach base safely. The Seahawks still do not have a hit. They had the bases loaded in the first. Murray walked 2 of the first 3 batters he faced. 0-1, misses away. Got a strikeout of Zelenka for the second out of the inning and then hit DiMartino. He got Nelson, who is on deck, to pop out. And that started to stretch what is now stretched to 8 in a row retired. Murray set. The 1-1. Swing and a miss.
I will also mention that Murray's in and out of shadows right now as the sun starts to go down. But the changes about 2 or 3 times getting to the plate too, so this is a tough time to hit.
Just misses inside. DiMartino gets out of the way. DiMartino, redshirt junior out of Raleigh, North Carolina, Millbrook product. Tried to get the inside corner again, couldn't, and has run the count full. DiMartino trying to break up this stretch of 8 in a row retired. Full count. Got him. Outside corner, called strike at the knees. And that is strikeout number 7 for Murray.
At this point, you kind of know what's coming with Jake Murray. You see an argument there, thinking that ball's a little bit down. I understand. I've been there as a hitter. But Schultz able to get the call.
Nelson, the hitter, up from the right side. He popped out to left back in the first. Takes a hack, fouls it away. When a guy like Murray is locked in and he has adjusted since walking to and hitting a batter in the first, the umpire is going to give you that, and that's what the UNCW Seahawk hitters haven't adjusted to yet. The 0-1 pitch misses away, and look, he had a point. We got TrackMan up here. We saw that pitch, but you mentioned as well, Schultz does a really, really good job of receiving and framing, and got that one for his pitcher. That'll miss inside, and the count 2-1. 2 outs, nobody on. Campbell's Friday night starter, Jake Murray, has been brilliant. Unable to find it there, and he finds himself down in the count 3-1.
Just from our view up here, Chris, seems like the times that Jake Murray's been successful tonight, he really hasn't cared where he's throwing it. He'll just throw it down the middle and see if you can hit it. Kind of like that.
I was going to say, you're exactly right.
Yeah, but when he's tried to be not cute, but in a sense he's trying to really be specific on his location, the ball's kind of got away from him. So his stuff is good enough, especially with the shadows like I'm talking about. Throw it down the middle, see what happens. If they execute, they execute.
Just a check swing and a foul ball. Nelson upset with himself. Cole Nelson, sophomore, Charlotte, North Carolina native, 6'3", 210. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Murray coaxes a foul ball, backing out of play. Count full. Murray has retired 9 in a row. He has struck out 3 in a row. He is dialed in, trying to get Nelson. And does. Jake Murray strikes out the side. Jake Murray has struck out 8. Campbell leads the Seahawks 3-0. What's Jake Murray doing so well tonight?
Well, we've really seen him in attack mode. Lately, when he is pitching well, his pitch count actually tends to tick up a little bit higher. He's a big swing and miss guy. But what we've seen tonight is just after that first inning, once he's settled in, go straight after these hitters. You either hit it or you don't, and so far they aren't.
Getting the calls at the bottom of the zone, too, and it has been sensational. Jake Murray, through 4 innings now, still has not given up a hit. Walked 2, struck out 8. 62 pitches, 35 of them have been strikes. Campbell putting up a 3 spot in the third, got 3 straight extra base hits against UNCW's Friday night man, Zane Taylor, who had given up just 5 extra base hits all season. Back-to-back doubles and a 2-run home run by Dalen Thompson. We'll see what 5, 6, and 7 can do. Here's Joey Morton. Takes a strike. Taylor, 3 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned, no walks, 4 Ks. Pitch count is low. Pitch number 44 coming up here to Morton. Morton fouled out down the left field line his first time up. Morton hitting .311, on base percentage of .403. He'll take it down low, a ball and 2 strikes. We told you about all but 4 on the UNCW roster are from North Carolina. Campbell has done it a different way. As that pitch misses away. And that's kind of how this Campbell team was built, as they have enjoyed now a decade and a half of the best baseball they've played in their history. 3-1 pitch will take it for a walk. So Morton will walk on down to first base, and Campbell will have the leadoff man on. That'll bring up Charlie Maglio.
Yeah, this ball, good stick there behind the plate from Art, but unable to get the call at the bottom. Chris, what I would like to see from this Campbell offense is adding on, and adding on doesn't mean scoring 3 in an inning. It's finding a way to move guys over, play situational baseball, and continue to get to the starter.
A bunt popped up, and a catch made behind the plate for Arndt. No, did he drop it? Wow, that surprised me a little bit too. I just went down and saw who was coming up next, because you don't drop that, right?
No, this ball just has so much spin, Chris. You see, getting below the ball, ends up going two hands.
That wasn't popped up as high as it looked like off the bat either.
No, for sure, for sure.
Look, Art's going to tell you he should make that play 99 times out of 100. I mean, you know, I thought he was going to make the play. Misses outside. They'll throw behind the runner, and barely getting back was Morton. Morton has one stolen base, but has been caught twice and has almost been caught there. Maglio is strikeout victim his first time up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Campbell leads 3-0 for now. Misses high. You go back to 2011. Campbell, Greg Goff, now the head coach at Purdue. His assistant, Justin Hare. Coming off a 17-37 season where they were 3-27 in the Atlantic Sun. Swung on a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Campbell moves to the Big South, which was a good thing for so many reasons. And it's a team that went out and got people from all over, started a pipeline with JUCOs in the Northwest. Got guys from the Midwest, the 2-2. There's a called strike on the outside corner. Maglio caught looking. There is 1 away. And they have kept that in their DNA. If you can play baseball, it doesn't matter if you're coming out of high school. It doesn't matter if you're at a JUCO where not many people have heard of. It doesn't matter if you're all the way across the United States. They brought a lot of guys here to Bowie's Creek that wanted to come get better at baseball, and they started building a winning tradition, and that has kept in their DNA. Here's Lucas Schramm. Misses high. And, of course, they have supplemented it with Thomas Harrington. Will probably make his major league debut sometime this year. He grew up right down the street in Sanford. Dalen Thompson went to high school 5 minutes from this ballpark, far away. So they do not just look outside the state. We know what a baseball-rich state this is, but there's a lot of competition, and UNCW has taken 40 guys on their roster from UNCW, let alone the other Division I programs, very good Division I programs, and the Power Fours. When they didn't have a reputation, they had to get people from outside this state, and they realized what kind of guys they were looking for, what kind of guys fit here at Bowie's Creek. Look, this is not the beach, and they don't try to hide that from you. That's been part of their secret as well. Counts 1-1 to Schramm. They are still trying to pick Morton off of first, but he's staying a little bit closer. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Schramm takes high. It's 2-1. Schramm flew out to right field his first time up. Misses on the outside corner. Campbell, by the way, took that 41-win season in 2012, turned it into a 49-win season in 2013. Won the Big South Conference regular season, did not win the tournament, were kept out of the NCAA tournament with 49 wins. Misses high, and that'll put runners on first and second for Jackson Thompson. Campbell would then win 41 games in 2014, win the Big South tournament, and win a game at the Columbia Regional. Greg Goff goes on to Louisiana Tech, then Alabama, then Purdue. His assistant, Justin Hare, comes into the picture, takes over the program, and his assistant is current head coach Chris Marks. Hare and Marks orchestrated what was a foundation for Campbell's winningest stretch, which was 5 straight NCAA tournament appearances from 2018 through 2023. Marks, for the last half of that stretch, his time is called and a visit to the mound will be made. Went to Purdue, oh, by the way, to play for former Campbell head coach Greg Goff, and it's a little bit of a, in a good way, incestuous situation. And when Hare moved on to Ohio State this past offseason, Chris Marks was the guy to come here for Campbell. And here we are. A lot lost to the transfer portal, but Campbell rounding into shape and again putting together a tough non-conference schedule. Took some lumps, but has seemed to have figured out who needs to go where and when, and are trying to take what would be a huge game 1 of this 3-game series against the defending champs and the preseason favorites. The 1-0. Just foul down the right field line.
Typically out of mound visits, you're going to see a fastball to try and get back in the zone after the realignment, but with a guy like Zane Taylor, he can give you fastball, slider, or changeup. Goes with the changeup there and gets Thompson out front.
Swung on and missed. That change at 82 miles an hour. Thompson DH, hitting .229 on the season. Has a couple of doubles. Popped out to short his first time up. Ground ball could be 2. Underhand to second for 1, back to first. That was a brilliantly turned double play. Jones to Thompson to Thatch. And the twin killing ends the threat for Campbell in the 4th. To the 5th we go. Campbell 3, UNCW nothing.
Do you love cheering on your fighting camels? Imagine living just a few miles from Campbell University. I'm Maddie Dean with Mattamy Homes, proud sponsor of your fighting camels. Mattamy offers several communities in Harnett County that could be the ideal place for your dream home. Explore our single family and townhomes featuring 2 to 5 bedrooms, up to 3.5 bathrooms, plus 3-car garage options, all created with your comfort in mind. Visit us today and see why a Mattamy home is the perfect place to call home.
Looking for a reason to try the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5. That's everything you get with the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's. Do you remember your favorite McDonald's collectibles? Well, this is them now. Order a collector's meal at McDonald's and choose between 10-piece McNuggets or a Big Mac to get 1 of 6 collectible cups while you still can.
Welcome back to Bowie's Creek. There is a first row look at the Campbell men's basketball team. Hey, speaking of basketball, season came to an end for UNCW in the NCAA tournament last night, but Campbell's women's team in the WNIT winning their first round game down at Coastal. They'll go on to take on Southern Indiana on Sunday night in the second round of the WNIT. Campbell's women's basketball team, a lot of youth, supposed to be a rebuilding year. They ended up finishing 3rd in the CAA, making it all the way to the CAA Tournament Championship game, coming up just short to William and Mary, who, by the way, won in their first 4 game in the women's NCAA tournament, beating High Point. Arndt is the hitter, catcher up from the right side. Takes it down low. Jake Murray has retired. 10 straight. Has struck out 4 straight. In fact, has struck out 7 of the last 8 batters he's faced. Arndt lined out his last time up and gets hit there. I think the message in the dugout was like, hey, look, don't strike out. Taking a lot of pitches there and ended up getting hit. They're going to have to switch up their approach somehow.
Well, and not that I'm only going to say this because it's the way the games have gone, especially as of late, but the Campbell defense hasn't really been tested, which is a good thing because that means there hasn't been too many balls put in play, and they've made the routine ones, but at the same time.
That's popped up as the hit and run was on. Maglio is going to make the catch, and having to come all the way back is Arndt. He's able to get back in time, but that is a big out, number 1.
Good job there by Maglio coming in, taking charge, and making the play on the pop-up. But we saw the double play that ended the last half inning of, a great 6-4-3 there from the Seahawks. Had to be quick and efficient, but it's going to come up at some point in this series where Campbell's going to have to make a series of defensive plays because this is a team that likes to put the ball in play, hasn't too much against the Friday night guy in Jake Murray, but will definitely find different ways to challenge the defense. So just know that's kind of in the back of your head, something that's going to have to come up.
Matt Gillespie, the number 9 batter, he struck out swinging his first time up, the center fielder. Boy, that had some wiffle ball action on it and just misses off the inside corner. It's a Campbell team, 31 errors in 20 games. That ball jammed and fouled back against the screen, and it's 1-2. We have bragged about UNCW's starting pitching, which is really, really good. Their defense is really good, too. Just 17 errors in 21 games this year. 1-2. Doesn't get the corner that time, and the count goes to 2-2. Pitch number 70 coming up for Murray. Safe lead at first, Arndt. He does not offer, and now the count runs full.
The further we get into this game, the more I anticipate Wilmington trying to put some things in motion, especially the limited runners that they've had. Try and get guys in scoring position.
Arndt has stolen 6 bases. And they'll throw behind him. I was going to say another safe lead, but that time they got him leaning. Morton playing off the bag, kind of slipped in. The count 3-2 from the stretch, checking the runner at first. Here's a pitch. Swung on and missed at 91 miles an hour. Boy, Jake Murray battled back in that at bat, and he's able to ring up his 9th strikeout of the game.
Yeah, we'll see him just continue to be relentless at the top of the zone, and when you're in 2 strikes, you have to try and fight it off. But like you said, 92 right at the top part of the zone gets the swing and a miss in the full count.
We'll see how he does 3rd time through. Here's Kevin Jones. That pitch misses. Low and inside. No hits yet for the Seahawks here in the 5th. Jones 0 for 1. He walked. Throw over to first. Arndt again hanging near the bag. Jones, Lenore Community College transfer, senior 5'11", 195 out of Rollsville, North Carolina. Fouled back against the screen.
Like I've said, every fastball that has ran middle or middle in, kind of regardless of height, we've seen a lot of swings from Wilmington, but still haven't been able to really put a barrel on it. And if they did, it went straight up.
1-1. That ball misses, gets through Schultz, and goes to second. Schultz, such a good backstop. Even if pitches are down in that brown turf, they usually don't get past him. He pointed to himself, but that was a tough one to handle there.
Yeah, without meaning to sound any sort of dramatic, Chris, I don't know that I remember the last time I saw a ball get by
no doubt
Andy Schultz.
And that does go down as a wild pitch. Make no mistake about it, and that's what we're saying. Floats in there for a called strike, and that is just not fair after mid-90s and then dropping in that one at 75 miles an hour. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. UNCW has a runner on second. Fouled away. It's interesting as games go in Friday nights. 2 good teams, 2 Friday night guys. As good as Murray has been, you get a hit here, an extra base hit, and all of a sudden this one changes. 2-2. Fly ball to left. Nothing changes with that swing. We go to the middle of the 5th, halfway through. Seahawks still without a hit. Campbell still in the lead, 3-0. A Friday night gem being polished by Jake Murray tonight.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And you know, we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Welcome back to Bowie's Creek. UNCW goes into the bullpen for the first time tonight. So Campbell able to chase Zane Taylor. It's a UNCW team that feels like they have a couple of arms that they feel really good about. Bromley Thornton, a 6'4", 210-pounder out of Wilmington, North Carolina, comes in. And is one of those arms that they feel good about. Thornton will come in here and try to eat some innings. You talked about, Colin, at the beginning of this game. You said one of the keys for Campbell is to get their very good starters in this series out of the game, and they did just that to Zane Taylor.
And also, in my opinion, and it may be because of something that we are unaware of so far here up in the booth, but it wasn't necessarily because of pitch count, right? Taylor was only at 62 pitches through 4 innings, but here we're going to see after Jet Music the lineup roll over for a 3rd time through, and I think that might play a little bit of a factor, the way that Parker, really that these 3 guys, Music, Parker, and Thompson, were able to get to him last time through.
Music, who had a double to start that 3-run stretch in the 3rd, flies out to right field, so 1 pitch, 1 out. Nothing against Thornton the new pitcher for UNCW, but he is not one of the bullpen arms that they feel confident in yet. Bromley Thornton making just his third appearance. He's gone 1 1/3 innings. They really haven't seen enough of him yet. They have a couple of really good arms in Lawson, Cox, and Allen. Those are the three that they are sure of. But not trying them out here might say something as well. It is interesting because the pitch count was low. Back to the top of the lineup for Darnell Parker Jr. Campbell scoring all 3 of their runs in the third off 3 of their 4 hits. The only other hit came from Parker in the bottom of the first. Parker is 2 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI. Ground ball just foul as that spins down the left field line. Here at Jim Perry Stadium, a whole lot of foul territory down both the left and right field line. Gaps go on forever. You got to hit it a ton to center. You can sneak it out and down the right and left field line, as Colin and I have said, and there hasn't been very many warm nights in this baseball season so far, but the ball really hasn't been flying out this year. Campbell is a team, just 18 home runs. Parker comes up empty on that swing. 0-2. Darnell Parker Jr. began his collegiate career at Wichita State. .353 batting average, .489 OBP. 6 doubles, a home run, 9 stolen bases to lead this Campbell team. Chases that pitch. A fist pump from the right-hander, and there is 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah, on the mound, just working to continue to extend the outside part of the plate, and gets a rare swing and a miss from Parker. Seen a lot of swinging so far. I really like that. That Campbell's kind of transferred to being more offensive at the plate. Obviously, you need to be selective, but Music coming out swinging. I believe the first 3 or 4 pitches this inning, there were swings. So, you know, kind of got to take the reins now, being up 3-0. You're trying to extend every single time you can.
Dalen Thompson, the big blow in this game, hit a 2-run home run, his first home run of the year back in the third. The 1-0. Misses away. Music, with 1 out, hit a double to left in that third inning. Parker came up with an RBI double, and then Dalen Thompson hit it 107 miles per hour off the bat and tattooed it 388 feet to left, and he swings another good bat, and with his speed, that should be 2, no problem. Nelson will get it in, but it's a stand-up double for Dalen Thompson, who is 2 for 3 with 2 extra base hits.
Yeah, as soon as this ball gets anywhere near the left field line, it's a stand-up double for a guy like Dalen Thompson. His speed plays, his second ball hit over 105 miles an hour tonight. Gives Jonah Ostert a 2-out chance with a runner in scoring position.
Oster 0 for 2, grounded out to short in the first, struck out swinging in the third. He talks about how the coaching staff told us before the UConn series, hey, they think Thompson's swing is back to where it was last year, and that was certainly a good diagnosis. Foul down the left field line. And they said really with some of these Campbell hitters, they just had to break it back down and build it back up, and Campbell coaching staff took it on themselves of the way they approach things in practice, and they fixed it. Here's the 0-1. Oster swings through it. Jonah 0 for 2, grounded out and struck out. Four home runs on the year, tied with Andy Schultz for the most on this Campbell team. Runner in scoring position, 2 away. Swung on a missed, strike 3. Couple of strikeouts, the double. Campbell strands a man, but as we go to the 6th, Campbell shutting out the Seahawks. 3-0 for Buies Creek. It's his first year as head coach. Where is he? We can't even see him over there. Somewhere in that dugout working hard is Campbell head coach Chris Marks. Probably going through the film right now. Chris Marks was an assistant here, of course, from 2015 to 2019. There he was, just trying to get away from the camera. He knew we were going to do him. There he is, the man in the beard. In his first year here. Again, knows this culture, was here setting the foundation for the best run in Campbell history, the 5 straight NCAA tournament appearances, and also, too, Campbell, we have talked about this decade and a half that they have gotten not only to state, regional, but national prominence. They've also turned some guys into some major players in the major leagues, and Coach Marks is a big reason why. Cedric Mullins, Zach Neto, Seth Johnson, Alan Winans, all coached or recruited by Chris Marks. Of course, Cedric starting center fielder for the Baltimore Orioles. Zach Neto, homegrown here from Campbell, recruited out of Miami and built him into a first-rounder in the starting shortstop for the Angels. You played for him. What makes him a special guy and the right guy to lead this Campbell team is Tanner Thatch, the All-American, is up. Just missed off the outside corner.
I think the main thing for me is his college baseball experience. As much as it is with Campbell, like you said, he's been everything but a head coach. And it's important to have a recruiting background.
I was going to say Thatch is due, as he was 0 for 2 with a couple of pop-outs, but he shows you why a lot of scouts are here to see him. He smashes that up the left field line, hitting over 330 so far this year.
And that'll be the Seahawks' first hit of the night. Jake Murray's second outing the last 3 weeks, taking a no-hitter into the 6th inning. But anyway, going back to Coach Chris Marks, like I said, for me, it's the experience.
And Lucas comes up with one. He was 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. We'll get back to Marks in a second. Colin, UNCW doing anything different here the third time through?
Yeah, I think just jumping over the fastball. Just a commitment. Seems like you don't want to get to 2 strikes, obviously, but you don't want to get to the off speed. A guy like Jake Murray, who's getting into his 6th inning of work, is going to try and be in the zone. More than likely, his last inning could be extended depending on how this goes, but got to find a way here. A little bit of trouble. Seahawks kind of woke up a little bit on offense here.
Without a hit were the Seahawks coming into the 6th. They had only had 1 base runner since the 1st, and that was with a hit batter. That's a strike, and that'll even the count at 1-1. So back-to-back singles here, Thatch and Lucas, middle of this lineup, third time through. Zelinka is 0 for 2. He has not looked very comfortable at the plate so far. He has struck out swinging and was called out on a ball at the bottom of the zone. Strike on the inside corner. If you're Campbell, you would love to get a double play ball here. Zelinka has not grounded into a double play yet this year. That ball squirts away and will advance the runners to 2nd and 3rd. These two campuses were separated by about 2 hours, depending on how fast you drive, so there is a lot in teal cheering on the Seahawks, finally making some noise here in the 6th. Lucas at 2nd, Thatch is at 3rd. UNCW, their biggest threat of the ball game. They left the bases loaded in the 1st, have had only 1 base runner before this inning since. High hard one at 92 miles an hour makes it a full count at 3-2.
Couple uncharacteristic wild pitch / pass ball from Schultz here has advanced the runners 90 feet.
Popped foul out of play. That last one ruled a wild pitch.
Chris, we talked about it. I think it's starting to get that time here at Jim Perry Stadium where it's going to be a little bit tougher to see off the bat. if it goes up in any direction.
3-2. That misses off the inside corner and will load the bases. So the bases were full in the first. That was via 2 walks and a hit batter. Here, as you see that pitch inside, back-to-back singles and a walk. There is nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. Travis Stone, the Campbell pitching coach, takes the long walk out. And we'll talk to Jake. 90 pitches for Murray. Again, had a no-hitter going into this 6th inning. Murray has gone 5 innings, given up 2 hits, 3 walks, 9 Ks. And the meeting will be broken up by Richard Riley.
Chris, to me, as much as Jake, has to work to finish this out, see if he can grind, get a couple outs here, bullpen is hot down the left field line for the Camels, but as a defense, you have to be ready. This is your time to impact the game.
Good pitch on the inside corner, called a strike, 0-1. DiMartino was hit by a pitch in the first. That loaded the bases. He struck out swinging in the 4th. 282 hitter with 3 home runs and 2 triples. 92 miles an hour off the inside corner, and the count's 0-2. Whatever was said to Jake Murray was heated. The 0-2. Called strike on the inside corner. What changed?
Again, I really think it's this realignment of, hey, Jake, you have swing and miss stuff. Be confident in what you're going to do. Have conviction throwing this breaking ball, throwing the fastball at the bottom of the zone. Breaks it in. There's been a few curveball strikeouts that he's gotten looking at the pitch is nearly right down the middle. So these hitters aren't picking it up. That should give you some confidence throwing towards the middle of the plate.
Just 1 out. Cole Nelson takes that pitch, takes it high, 1-0. If we gave the crowd our track man, they might not make as much noise. But that wouldn't make it as fun. Here's a 1-0. There's a strike, and the count's 1-1.
The first 2 hitters of this inning, in Thatch and Lucas, were convicted and confident going after the fastball early in the count. We haven't seen that since.
Bases full, 1 away. Campbell leads 3-0 for now. He'll drop another one in there for a called strike. And the count 1-2.
I'm not sure there's many people right now that could sit and know that Jake is throwing that curveball and be successful hitting it. It's that good tonight.
The 1-2 swung on and missed, strike 3. Wow. And now Jake Murray and Campbell is 1 out away from getting out of this mess.
Able to land the 2 curveballs and then just goes right after him with the fastball. We've seen 2 strikeout types tonight, Chris. It's that loopy curveball that the hitters just give up on, and then that fastball that's attacking the inner half of the plate to righties.
Here's Art. Hit by a pitch his last time up. And there's that fastball, 93 miles an hour on the inside corner, 0-1.
That was his 98th pitch, Chris. Have to imagine you're burning the tank here.
The 0-1. Goes back to that curveball.
You see Schultz behind the plate making sure this ball is not getting by me.
Boy, Travis Stone went out, had a conversation, and Jake Murray has been lights out. The 0-2. Got him! The bases were loaded with nobody out. Murray struck 3 straight out. And Campbell takes a 3-0 lead to the bottom of the 6th. What a job from the Campbell Friday night starter. talk about the emotion here. He knows how big this pitch is.
Yeah, pitching himself into trouble. Look at that emotion, Chris. We haven't really seen, as dominant as he's been so far this season, I don't know that I've seen that from him yet. Obviously, opening night for CAA Conference Baseball gives you a quality start, his 12th strikeout of the night, and really relying on just 2 pitches most of the time. So just a dominant performance. I'd have to assume that he's done, that being his 99th pitch, but just an excellent outing from Jake Murray yet again.
Yeah, and we talked about it. This is a Campbell team that they know they are close. They've been frustrated. In those one-run losses, they can point to an error here, a walk there, a runner in scoring position at bat that they didn't take advantage of. And, you know, that can almost be more frustrating than if you're getting beat by 6 runs every time, to know that you're that close, to know that your record should be better. You wipe the slate clean. It's all about what you can do in CAA play right now, and you're playing the defending champs, your longtime rivals, who left the bases loaded again after having the bases loaded with nobody out. Andy Schuldup goes after the first pitch and skies this down the right field line. This ball is headed and will get out.
Well, like we talked about as well, Chris, we said obviously defending champs coming in, but Zane Taylor has been dominant up to this point. And if he continued to go and got another 0 and went 5 innings, 3 runs, that's also totally serviceable. But Jake Murray just simply mano-a-mano was better than every single batter that stepped in except for 2 guys that got singles.
The 0-1. And Campbell's bullpen last weekend. Campbell dropping the first game of the series to UConn on Friday because of the weather on Sunday, playing a doubleheader, and their bullpen really dominant through 14 innings of that series. They swept the doubleheader, ended up winning the series. So Campbell feels that they know they're really good arms in the bullpen now, and we'll see. Long way to go in this one. Andy Schultz trying to add on down in the count 1-2. Swung on and missed. They'll have to complete the strikeout, and they will. 3 strikeouts tonight for Andy, uncharacteristic for him.
Yeah, just able to get Schultz chasing a slider again. Both him and Oster have been susceptible to it tonight, just not seeing it too well and gotten a steady dose of those running off the plate.
So tough, isn't it, as well as you realize that at this point of the season, going into the conference season, they've got 20 games of tape to look at. Misses inside to Joey Morton. So now these teams also that have played you the year before, if you're a returner like Andy Schultz is, I mean, they know your weaknesses, and they try to exploit them. Here's the 1-0. It's a game of adjustment, isn't it, year to year, and then you'll adjust from game 1 to game 2 and game 2 to game 3. All of these games, especially when you're talking about, look, Campbell picked to finish 4th in the CAA, UNCW 1st. Every game matters. Here's a 2-0. Hit towards left field, coming in, measuring it, making the catch is Nelson for out number 2.
Well, at least for me and some of the players that I knew, that's kind of how it went. If you had a decent first year or, 30, 40 game sample, the start of that next year, at least for me, was very difficult because guys knew how to pitch you, right? So then it was, in this case, my job personally to adjust back to what they were going to do versus just getting fastballs and stuff like that. But so then there's guys like Zach Neto. Jared Belbin was another one. Drake Pearson, right? So some of the guys that were putting, obviously Lawson Harrell too, guys putting up massive numbers that either got, set records like Lawson did, got opportunities like Belbin did, or are starting in the major leagues like Neto is. Those were the guys that were able to, hey, the adjustment period for us is like 2 more games. For guys like me, it was half a season. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, no, you're exactly right. And it's just how fast, especially in college baseball, can you make that adjustment? Yeah. Charlie Meglio is a guy who's going through that right now.
Meglio in his sophomore year here takes a strike from the inside corner. 211 on the season, has a couple of home runs, 3 doubles. The 0-1. Swung on and missed.
Unfortunately, a lot of Meglio's at-bats have gone like this. First pitch, strike. Second pitch, you feel like you have to not get to 2 strikes, so you're going to take a bigger swing, and then now you have to fight.
Popped foul and out of play as he fights this one off. Meglio 0 for 2 tonight with a couple of strikeouts. Thornton has been good out of the bullpen, his longest outing of the year so far here, 1 2/3. Given up just 1 hit, struck out 3. Misses away. All artificial turf surface here and a dirt mound. New artificial turf surface at UNCW.
Which is beautiful out there.
It is nice. The 1-2 misses away. CAA tournament, as we talk about every game matters. Top 6 make it. Be down in Charleston this year. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on in the 6th. Popped up. That is a mile high.
It's tough to see.
And it drops. Colin, you said it. You said this time of night, a little bit of the twilight, the lights are on. It is really, really tough. And that showed it right there.
Yeah, I've just seen it too many times. Practice, games, it doesn't really matter. That's the third baseman's ball all day, but when you lose it, it becomes a free-for-all.
Yeah.
But you watch Meglio here, obviously not having the season he's wanted so far, but still willing to bust his butt out of the box. Ends up at second base and extends the inning. So here's the thing is Campbell has an opportunity to take advantage of errors, a lot of which has happened to them, right?
Yeah.
Their infield play hasn't been great. Teams have been taking advantage. They're losing by 1 or 2, but now they can extend their lead here. Or take one in the hip.
And Schramm gets one right between the numbers, and that comes from, you can see Thornton. Thornton was the one who was trying to grab for it again when it wasn't his ball, and he was looking around rather disgusted the fact that he got a pop out that should end the inning, and his infielders couldn't help him out. So I think that was what was still in his mind. But now all of a sudden, there's runners on first and second, and Thompson up for Campbell. There's a strike on the inside corner, and again, as we talked about, UNCW's defense has been really, really good. And again, that's one of those that happens every couple of weeks that there's a lot of reasons for it. Can Campbell capitalize with their DH? Thompson 0 for 2. Thompson wearing lucky number 13. Redshirt junior, Virginia Tech transfer. He'll take inside in the count 2-1. Meglio at second base, Schramm at first. Campbell trying to get some big insurance runs here with 2 outs, trying to capitalize on a Seahawk mistake in the bottom of the 6th. Strike on the outside corner, 2-2. Campbell has won their last 2 weekend series. They are 4-3 coming into this opening series of CAA play against the defending champs, 2-time defending tournament champs in the CAA. The 2-2 just misses. Low and inside. And now the count has run full to 3-2. Jet music is on deck for Campbell.
Should see the runners in motion here. Full count, 2 outs. Any base hit should score a run for Campbell.
This is a big pitch. Thompson foul tips it into the glove of the catcher. And Thornton gets a strikeout. He has been really good. Struck out 4 through 2. UNCW bullpen holding up. Can Campbell's 2/3 of the way through into the pen for the Camels. Campbell leads 3-0. So Campbell's left fielder comes in to pitch. It's jet music, but first we'll take a look at the McDonald's stat sheet. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Pitchers duel tonight. UNCW didn't get a hit until the 6th inning. They loaded the bases with nobody out, couldn't score. They left the bases loaded with a couple out in the first. Campbell scored 3 runs in the third. That's where they got 3 of those 3 hits, including a 2-run home run by Dalen Thompson, a RBI double from Darnell Parker. And now it'll be on to Campbell's bullpen. Jet music, just a freshman, but he's shown that he can be a two-way player, as he has done really well at the plate this year, hitting .333, and on the mound he has been a little up and down, but 1-1, 5.79 ERA, 5 appearances, 9 1/3 innings, giving up 10 hits, 6 earned runs, just 4 walks to 16 strikeouts. He really burst upon the scene. Campbell's first home game of the year was a midweek affair against ECU, and he came in and shut the Pirates down late, and that gave this Campbell coaching staff confidence in him.
Yeah, fastball slider guy mainly. Fastball's going to have a lot of run back to the right-handed hitter. That slider coming all the way across his body. Typically falls away from the right-handed hitter, goes back foot to the lefties.
Makes a little bit of a National League managing style. Karpowicz comes in to play left field, as music slips from left into the pitcher's position, and then you would assume Thompson, the DH that's also a catcher, is in play if they have to remove music, because they don't want to remove his bat. Here's Brady Thompson to start off, and he feeds him a fastball on the outside corner. 0-1. It'll be Thompson, Gillespie, 8-9, and then back to the top of this lineup for UNCW that did a lot of damage in the 6th. Thompson pops it up. Karpowicz will be tested in left field, as he'll make the call and the catch for out number 1.
You watch the way Karpowicz caught that ball. It's like we talked about. It's just tough to see out there right now. We probably got about 15, 20 more minutes of this sky till it gets pitch black. Then you really can see the white ball. But when it gets past the lights here, especially on a night like tonight with relatively clear sky, it's tough to see. And you can see the difference. UNCW obviously hasn't been here, and Campbell has. So clean catch there in left.
Gillespie takes a strike on the outside corner. Gillespie 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts swinging, hitting .224 on the year. Music misses with that pitch outside. Music, with what he can produce arm angle-wise in that, has a little bit of wiffle ball action with a bit of a backdoor break at times. Tough to pick up, especially if you're a righty. You saw it right there, and you saw that ball smashed out of play right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top of the 7th inning. Campbell sitting on a 3-0 lead. All 3 runs scored in the 3rd. Fouled back to the screen.
So we actually, when I played, trained this arm slot. We set up a machine pretty much, close to off the mound. That's how far he is over. On your screen, it's to the right side where he's releasing the ball, almost behind the hip of the right-handed hitter. So we would train this.
Yeah.
We would have a sinking fastball off the machine, and we would work on finding a way as a right-handed hitter to commit to the fastball and take the slider. Once you get to 2 strikes, that pretty much goes out the window. You have to fight here. So this is a tough at-bat.
2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Hard to get a pitching machine to do that.
Yeah, it's really hard to reciprocate. That was the best effort we could do, but you look at this. He stays on top of that 2-seam. Thing just rides and dives into the right-handed hitter. Gets a swing over the top for out number 2. Looking to get a clean inning here.
Back to the top of the order. Here is Kevin Jones, the dangerous Tanner Thatch awaits on deck. He'll feed him another strike. 0-1. Jones 0 for 2 today. Walked back in the first. Struck out looking. pop fly to right. And he's down in the count 0-2. Jones hitting .320 on the season. 3 doubles, couple triples, home run. .433 on base percentage. Jet Music trying to put down the Seahawks in order here in the 7th. Music set. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Got him. Right down Broadway for a called strike 3. Music comes in. What a relief appearance in his CAA series debut. Comes back. And we go to the stretch. Campbell leads 3-0.
This is where everything starts. It's a place of new beginnings, new opportunities, and a new identity. We are the Coastal Athletic Association, and from the beaches to the city streets, we are united to succeed at an elite level. In competition, in our communities, in our lives. This is the tide that lifts us, the fire that burns inside all of us. This is our moment, our new chapter. We are the CAA, and we are united.
Crowd getting fired up here in the Mattamy Homes 7th inning stretch. Mattamy Homes with 5 neighborhoods now around the Campbell campus. MattamyHomes.com, the place to go to get all the information. Campbell leads 3-0. Good crowd on hand for game 1 of the series. Fireworks after the game, as there is for every Friday night in the CAA. Campbell and UNCW, what a statement would be made for a Campbell team to take down on opening night in the CAA. The 2-time defending champs, easier said than done. There is a long way to go in this one. Campbell with 3 runs, all coming in the 3rd. And now Jet Music, who came in and got the Seahawks in order 1-2-3 in the top half of the inning. Try to get Campbell going and get some insurance for himself here in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch to Music misses away. Jet Music, best name in baseball. It'll be Music, and then back to the top of the order, Parker and Thompson. Campbell has scored 20 runs as a team in the 7th inning this year, the most of any inning. He'll take a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. We told you about how Campbell has a propensity for a comeback or a near comeback. They usually get things going late. It's been nice to have them sit on a lead. The 1-1 popped foul, backing out of play.
Well, I think the way that last weekend went with the bullpen, you have to feel confident going into these later innings. Obviously, you already got a 0 from Jet Music, but when you have this 3-run lead, you can play the game the way you want to on the defensive side.
Music stays alive, fouls it away. Day has turned tonight. Be able to see that ball a little better, as Colin, who has played many innings in this infield, can tell you about. 54 degrees now, and that wind has totally died, as it often does when Day turns tonight here in the creek. Here's the 1-2. Second game of the series tomorrow at 3, Sunday at 2. All of these games will be right here on Flo College. Chris Haymeyer alongside former Campbell Colin Wolfe. Thanks for joining us on this Friday night. It's been a fun one. The 2-2 pitch. That ball hammered out into left field by Jet Music, and the true freshman continues to impress both on the mound and at the plate.
This pitch is only 89 on the inner half, but such a controlled, smooth, short swing. Drives the baseball. 104 off the bat through the 6-hole for a base hit to lead off the inning. It's not the same, Chris. What I was going to say is Jet was able to pitch and get a 0 in the top half of the 7th, and I know that typically if a defender makes a diving play or robs a home run or whatever and they're hitting the next inning, they do something spectacular, right? It's funny how often that happens. But I didn't know how it worked if you just pitched a 0. Do you come back and, get a hit or whatever, but obviously did there.
Right. It's got to get your adrenaline pumping a little bit, doesn't it? Darnell Parker Jr. back to the top of the order. He is 2 for 3 today. Popped up. That's going to get out of play. Parker now has increased his average to 348. He got a single in the first. In that third inning, he was the middle of the 3 straight extra base hits. I mean, that's really kind of been it. Campbell has threatened, had a base runner in every inning except the second, but with 1 out, Jet Music hit a double. Parker knocked him in with an RBI double. 2-run home run by Thompson. UNCW has had to work in and out of trouble a little bit. Campbell has left 5 men on base. But Campbell taking advantage of those opportunities. That big burst is 3 of their 7 hits. Music has stolen 3 bases, been caught once. He has a safe lead. That lead will probably get even smaller after that throw over to first. The Seahawks, if they go on and do not win this game, they will think of the 2 times they had the bases loaded, particularly bases loaded, nobody out in the 6th, and couldn't score a run. The 0-2. Fouled back to the screen. There is 7 left on base. Both times the bases have been loaded. They really haven't had anything going in other of those 2 innings. Parker has fought off a couple of 2-strike pitches. Dalen Thompson, who hit that 2-run home run and has 2 extra base hits, is on deck. Music with a safe lead still dives back, and the count still remains at 0-2. Parker hitting .410 with runners on this year. He has 1 of them on at first base. There's a called strike. Parker knew it. He tried to shrink himself a little bit, but it didn't work. And boy, Thornton, we talked about how, look, he hasn't been, just because he hadn't pitched a lot, one of the high leverage arms out of the bullpen. He might become a high leverage arm after this outing.
Yeah, and I think specifically matching up with these Campbell right-handed hitters. These hitters are doing so well at pulling the baseball, but if he can execute pitches on the outside part of the plate, that's where he's been able to get some swing and miss. So expect him to stay with the slider.
Thompson has doubled and homered tonight. Fouls that ball back to the screen. Thompson now has that batting average back up over 300, hitting .307. Preseason all CAA selection. Had his first home run of the year in that 3rd inning. Campbell, 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Those 3 runs in the 3rd. No runs, just 2 hits, 1 error for the Seahawks. Seahawks were no hit until the 6th. Again, when they loaded the bases, couple of singles hit batter. Jake Murray stayed in the game and got 3 straight outs. The 0-1. Catches the bottom of the zone for a called strike. 0-2. Dalen Thompson from Dunn, North Carolina, just down the road here. Went to Triton High School, even closer down the road. swung on and missed, strike 3. And Thornton continues to do it. Now 2 in the third innings, has given up 3 hits. That is strikeout number 6.
Very similar to what Jake Murray was doing with the fastball. Hey, here's what I'm throwing. You try to hit it. Thornton's steady with the slider the past few innings. Keeps getting these right-handed hitters to chase it. Outside of the one mistake that he made to Music here for that base hit to left, has been pretty clean out of the stretch against the top part of the order.
Up to Oster now. Runner goes. The pitch is a strike, and that is a sensational tag made by the shortstop Jones. My goodness, aren't with the throw, but look at the acrobatics here. Music got a good jump, but that was a good play and ends the threat for Campbell in the 7th. To the 8th we go. Campbell up 3. Welcome back to Bowie's Creek, and as you see, boy, this is big for Campbell. Look, College of Charleston, Northeastern, UNCW, Campbell, that is your top 4 at least preseason, and they all have sort of lived up to it. So you got Campbell with UNCW here. They'll go away to Charlotte, non-conference, then at College of Charleston, then Coastal away, then Northeastern. That is a bear of a schedule, and look, those first 9 games against the quote-unquote 3 top teams in the conference, boy, that's going to mean a lot when we start figuring out things at the end of this conference season.
Yeah, and so far tonight, obviously doing a great job kind of weathering the storm. Obviously a bunch of preseason accolades that UNCW has gotten or picked to win the conference. Have played well in midweeks, obviously played plenty of ranked games as well and pitched the heck out of it. Really outside of 3 at-bats. Wilmington's still in this game, obviously only down 3 as well, so it'll continue to be up to the Campbell bullpen after a stellar start by Jake Murray.
You saw all of those hanging Ks up in the section in Jim and Daphne Pavilion. Campbell pitchers have struck out UNCW batters 14 times tonight. Jet Music, who had a 1-2-3 7th with 2 of those strikeouts, comes here in the 8th. This is big. Thatch, Lucas, and Zelinka. Thatch, Golden Spikes Award winner, switch hitter, preseason All-American, the 0-1. He took a home run swing and came up empty. Thatch 1 for 3 tonight. Popped out to the shortstop twice, singled in the 6th. He's hitting .337, 1 double, 1 triple, 3 home runs. Hitting .650 in the leadoff spot this year. That pitch high and tight. Ball 1. Thatch, the junior, out of Belvedere, North Carolina. 6'4", 225. Bunch of scouts here to see him tonight. Popped up. Right field. Boy, Morton went out a long way for that one. That's the Campbell first baseman. Nope, check that. That was Oster. So Campbell's second baseman went a long way for that, got it in front of Schramm, but it works for out number one, and they get one of the big bats in the lineup out. That's big.
Yeah, good job by Jet Music to get ahead, get a swing and miss, and then execute a slider in the zone. And when you get that 2 strike, obviously you're going to play percentages and feel a little bit more confident, especially with that slider.
Trevor Lucas is the batter. He is 1 for 2, singled his last time up, struck out in the third, walked in the first. That was a nasty breaking ball, and it falls in there for strike number 2. Boy, Jet is looking really, really comfortable tonight on the bump. He'll come set. The 0-2. Ground ball, foul ball. When you go back to, we didn't really get to finish all of our stories with Chris Marks as everything happened there, but Campbell's first-year head coach, one of the many, many unique and very good things about him is he's been both a hitting coach and pitching coach at the D1 level. Here's the 0-2. And he has done that twice while being on the same team here at Campbell. Went from hitting coach to pitching coach, got to Purdue as a pitching coach, and then went to hitting coach just because of needs. That is not easy to do at any level. The 1-2. Misses high. He worked with the pitchers for a good bit of the offseason and early season and has now worked back with the hitters, and everything he touches seems to turn out right. Here's the 2-2. Lucas hits that ball a long way down the left field line. It is hooking and will get foul. Again, down both these lines, you can sneak one out fairly easily. That one hooked foul, and Campbell will take a deep breath. The count remains 2-2.
I always respected the way that Coach Marks went about his business. Was able to, I mean, literally flip a switch from being, you know, friend, mentor, guy you could talk to laying the hammer down and saying, hey, this is what we need to do. And I wouldn't be surprised if that happened this week.
2-2. Misses away.
And I only knew him as a pitching, coach recruiting coordinator.
And that's the secret, isn't it? How can you have the trust and love as a coach, but then put your foot down when it needs to? Here's 3-2. Let me tell you something, Colin, when you get to be a parent, trying to find that same balance as well. It ain't easy, man.
No, I can only imagine. This fastball kind of gets away from Jet, ends up spiking it.
So, again, as great as a game that Campbell has played at the plate on the mound, the lead is 3. This UNCW team with the bats are good, and that's why every pitch, every batter means something. I mean, I know it's the first game of what is a long CAA season, but this is a team in UNCW that is going to be at the top, and if Campbell wants to be at the top, you need to try to finish games like this. Campbell is 5 outs away from taking game 1 of this huge 3-game series against the rivals, against the 2-time defending champs. Zelinka is the batter. In there for a called strike. Zelinka 0 for 2 tonight. He walked his last time up. UNCW has walked 4 times. They have just 2 hits, and they were back-to-back singles, Thatch and Lucas, in the 6th. They didn't get one before. They didn't get one since. Popped up right field. That is floating out, but Schramm will make the catch. That's knowing your field. There's a ton of room down there, and Schramm had it played perfectly. Out number 2.
Yeah, like you said, just plenty of foul territory down both lines here at Jim Perry Stadium. You never can really give up on a ball unless you know it's for sure going to be out of play. So that ball ends up spinning back to the field to play a little bit. Schramm able to run it down, and able to fire a strike to second base just in case Lucas at first was tagging.
DiMartino tees off on this pitch. It's got a chance to go and will. And like that, it's a one-run game. One swing of the bat changes everything. DiMartino goes yard for his 4th home run of the year.
Yeah, Chris, you just recently mentioned you can sneak a ball out down the line here, really on both sides. This ball is only 94 miles an hour off the bat, but any good hitter knows if you can create backspin, you can get a ball to carry out. 360 feet on that home run. That pitch was almost a ball, and he was able to turn on it and drive it out of here. But Chris, you know, obviously that's a gut punch. This game becomes a 1-run game instead of a 3-run game, but at the same time, Campbell has had the opportunities to score and add on to their lead. Popped up a couple bunts like we've talked about. So, but that's what's going to happen when you're playing good teams and good arms.
Yeah.
So really good showing by both teams here, and going to have to slug it out to win the 9th. Campbell's going to get an extra half here.
Carver Pleasant will pinch hit here. The freshman pinch hitting for Cole Nelson, the left fielder, who was 0 for 3 with a couple of Ks. Misses inside. Pleasant without an at-bat this year. True freshman out of Hurdle Mills, North Carolina. It's a 1-run game. Carver Pleasant, the freshman at the plate. Music trying to get us to the bottom of the 8th. He's 1 strike away. For Music, that was just the 2nd home run that he has given up this year. The 1-2. Off the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. This one getting tight late. Campbell will have 3, 4, and 5 due up in the bottom of the 8th. Fouled against the screen. 2-2. Pleasant staying alive. Staying alive again. True freshman trying to get his first hit of the campaign, and what a hit it would be in this spot. 2 runs on a 2-run home run here in the 8th. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Changed it up on him. Pleasant strikes out, and Music gets out of the inning, but the 2-run home run sticks. And as we go to the bottom of the 8th, Campbell up 1.
Do you love cheering on your fighting camels? Imagine living just a few miles from Campbell University. I'm Maddie Dean with Mattamy Homes, proud sponsor of your fighting camels. Mattamy offers several communities in Harnett County that could be the ideal place for your dream home. Explore our single family and townhomes featuring 2 to 5 bedrooms, up to 3.5 bathrooms, plus 3-car garage options, all created with your comfort in mind. Visit us today and see why a Mattamy home is the perfect place to call home.
Looking for a reason to try the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5.
So much.
That's everything you get with the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's.
Love.
Do you remember your favorite McDonald's collectibles? Well, this is them now.
Love.
Order a collector's meal at McDonald's and choose between 10-piece McNuggets or a Big Mac to get 1 of 6 collectible cups while you still can.
UNCW, they'll take on Chucky Southern, and then NCA&T, East Carolina. Hofstra is their beginning to the season after this tilt with rival Campbell gets a little bit easier. There is a new pitcher on the mound for UNCW. As Brian Arndt, I guess, has had enough behind the plate catching, but UNCW's starting catcher goes out and tries to keep this a one-run game. Arndt has appeared just one time this season. 2/3 of an innings, gave up 3 hits and a run, walked 1, and struck out 2. I would say, boy, you don't see catcher-reliever combos that often, but of course, Campbell had a really, really good one last year before injury sat him down. I mean, no one knows the strike zone better, correct?
Yeah, no doubt. Looks like he's going to go with a fastball, slider, kind of power combo, mix in a splitter. Fastball is going to be up to 96, 97. Like you said, coming from behind the plate. But if Campbell can add here, especially against the bullpen, that'll be massive. Obviously, Wilmington getting the 2-run home run as a coach, it kind of changes your perspective on how you're going to manage your bullpen. That might be why we go to the power arm here.
Yep.
And Arndt. But you have 3, 4, 5 coming up for Campbell. If you can find a way to scratch one across, that is huge for the 9th inning.
Yeah.
Means you don't have to be perfect, right? But the way the bullpen has been going, there's only been 1 or 2 times in the past week, really, that we've seen any sort of blemish from that Campbell bullpen.
Oster takes the pitch outside. It'll be Oster, Schulten, Morton, 3, 4, and 5. Oster 0 for 3 tonight, a couple strikeouts and a ground out. Grant Knipp, of course, the Campbell hitter I was alluding to. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. Campbell ended up finishing 7th in the CAA last year, their first year in the CAA. Ended a stretch of 5 straight NCAA tournament appearances. There were multiple injuries, particularly to the pitching staff, that hurt Campbell. Here's the 1-1. What made it so odd was Campbell began the year 16-4. But during those first 20 games, Grant Knipp, who was Campbell's starting catcher, who had some of the best hitting statistics in the entire nation through that first month, and was Campbell's penciled-in closer, the 1-2 popped foul out of play, was hurt. He came back for a week, realized it wasn't going to go, and shut down for the rest of the season. There are other injuries. Campbell, coming out of the fall, had a Friday and Saturday starter that combined for just 2 starts. But that Grant Knipp injury was huge. Here's the 1-2. Hit in the air, left field. This ball has some ride on it, but is going to die at the track. Pleasant just into the game brings it down as Oster got under it just a touch.
It's interesting, Chris, because this ball's only hit 1 mile an hour slower than the home run by DeMartini. But it's where you hit it here, and you see out in left field, Nelson find the track. Ends up catching it right before the wall.
Here's Andy Schultz. Goes after the first pitch and chops it foul. Schultz hitting .319 on the season, 0 for 3 tonight. 4 home runs, 9 doubles, OPS of 196. He has been a very consistent hitter for Campbell, slugging .623. He's due. Count 1-1.
Well, it's interesting, Chris, because we talked about how analytics play such a big part in our game nowadays. For a guy like Schultz getting pitched backwards a lot, ever since he won CAA Player of the Week, went off for a 36-hour period, won the award, and everybody facing him from then on, which is 3 weeks ago, has decided that, hey, we're not going to give you first pitch fastballs anymore. We're gonna hammer sliders and curveballs. So, bit of an adjustment period, but still able to find a way to be productive.
2-1. Misses down low, and Schultz has worked the count to 3-1. Morton is behind them, and then Meglio. Campbell leads 3-2 here in the bottom of the 8th, trying to add on. Misses high. Ball 4.
Yeah, what I was going to say during that bat is Schultz takes the walk. For people like me who played and now watch, you think, oh, clearly, Schultz, you're getting pitched a ton of sliders.
Yeah.
Sit slider, right? We talked about it, how Campbell has 3 impact hits, 2 doubles and a home run, and those are the 3 times out of the 4 total, DeMartini's home run being the other one, where an offensive plan has been executed to a T tonight. That's how hard it is, especially against these arms in Wilmington's bullpen. It's just difficult.
They'll shift to the right side, and Morton will fly that ball a long way down the left field line. That is still going to bounce in the stadium in foul territory. That is how much there is over there. Pleasant gave it a long run and still couldn't catch up to it. Morton 0 for 2. Fouled out, walked, lined out. Morton hitting .308. He's got 2 home runs on the season. Popped foul out of play. What a great Friday night matchup this has been. Well pitched, well played, 1 error between the 2 teams. 26 strikeouts as well. Here's the 0-2. Popped foul and out of play. We expected a good pitching matchup tonight, and we've got it. UNCW with just 3 hits tonight. Will it be enough? Campbell would love to get an insurance run here in the bottom of the 8th. 1 out. That insurance run in Schultz is at first base. Misses high and away.
I've been waiting to see the splitter from Arndt. He threw it in warm-ups, and it was under 1,000 RPMs, which basically, if you don't know what that means, it's closer to a knuckleball than it is a fastball at about 86, 87 miles an hour, like that.
Misses off the inside. What did that spin at?
1,074. So it literally looks like the ball isn't spinning, it's just moving. That's how it's really tough to hit. A lot of sink on it. Wasn't able to execute it in the zone there.
2-2. Came back with the fastball, 94 miles an hour, and Morton goes down. Yeah, that's tough to see that after a knuckleball, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And what's cool is he shook off 2 pitches earlier and decided to go with the fastball up, missed. So he set up the splitter down, missed. So then he came back with the fastball on the outside, gets Morton on the 94 on the corner. Really good execution and really just a smart mindset way of going about that at bat.
Here's Charlie Meglio. 2 outs and a runner on, misses high. Meglio 1 for 3. Technically a double in that 6th inning. Popped up down the 3rd baseline. Check to swing. They'll say yes. Peels down the first base line. Not had a review in this game.
Yeah, what the heck? Didn't notice that till you just said that.
Yeah. 1-1. Fouled back to the screen. You get the feeling Meglio gets one, and he's going to get a lot more.
Yeah, that was the one to do it. Fastball, middle, up, easy to elevate. Just swung a little bit under it. 4-hole is huge here.
Misses high. That was a delayed steal. Again, another good throw. And again an out, but this time it was Zelinka behind the plate. His starting catcher on the mound, he helps him out. And a rope down to second base. We go to the ninth. Campbell 3 outs away from taking game 1 of this season, the first of the CAA campaign. So here we go. It all happened for Campbell in the third. Music was on with a 1-out double, and then Parker almost at the exact same place. An RBI double that scores Music easy, and then this ball 107 miles off the bat. It felt like 170. We all knew it was gone when it left. That was Dalen Thompson's first home run of the season, and that is the difference. Campbell, those 3 runs, 3 of their 7 hits, back to back to back, off of the previously unhittable Zane Taylor. And Campbell has had that hold up, and now they'll take it off to the man who has taken over the closer role in Bryce Shares. Shares, a former wrestler, as Chris Mark told me, and you can kind of see it in his build and his attitude, and he has a closer's mentality. We saw it a little bit in Arndt there. But it's an important thing, man. You go out there, you're in a cauldron of boiling water usually. You cannot make a mistake and have time to make up for it. And now Campbell trying to get 3 outs to take this huge game 1 of this 3-game series versus UNCW. Here we go. Buckle up. Shares 1-0, 1.93 ERA. He has a save. 9 1/3 innings. Delivers the first ball down low to Arndt. It'll be Arndt, Thompson, and Gillespie 7, 8, and 9 schedule. Feeds him a strike at 92 miles an hour. Arndt 0 for 2. Flew out, hit by a pitch, struck out. Missed down low. Good crowd has come in tonight. Fireworks after the game tonight. Here's the time was called and by the home plate umpire. Shares. Popped up. Oster makes the catch. Out number 1. Campbell 2 away.
Yeah, Bryce Shares working quick. Just power on power. Gets Shares to pop it up. Easy out for number 1. 2 outs away.
Brady Thompson, the batter, 0 for 3 tonight. He toes the line from the left-hand side of that batter's box. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Misses away. Shares pitches like the pitch clock is reset at 6 all the time.
Yep.
He is not taking much time. Here's the 1-1. That pitches wide. Next pitch misses wide. 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Shares 9 walks to 11 strikeouts this year. Feeds him a strike, and now the count full at 3-2. Thompson, the freshman, Providence High School product, and he is able to take that pitch down low for a walk. And boy, he goes back to his dugout, and he's fired up. This one means a lot. And now the tying run is on at first base, and he will be pinch ran for as Dylan Schaefer, the sophomore, comes into the game.
Chris, we talked about it. The Campbell pitching has been so good tonight that there really hasn't been too much defensive play. Only a couple pop flies here and there. I'm honestly not sure if this Campbell infield has had to field 1 ground ball tonight. Just thinking back on it, wouldn't be surprised if they have an opportunity here. Got to be ready to go.
Double play can end this thing. Mason Hughes is the pinch hitter. Takes the first pitch as a strike. Hughes does not have any stats for UNCW yet this year. The 0-1 popped foul back to the screen. You are absolutely right. There has not been a ground ball out for Campbell tonight. Foul outs, strikeouts, a lot of them, and pop outs. Wow. The count 0-2 to Hughes. Here's a pitch. Misses high, and the count 1-2. Not easy to field a ground ball when you haven't filled a ground ball all night, is it? Have you had nights like that before?
I actually had a full series one time at shortstop, but you still have to be ready, especially in a game like this.
Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And now Campbell, with the tying run on first, is 1 out away. What a pitch by Shares.
Threw the fastball up top. Gets a very late swing at 92 across the plate. Sets himself up and out away from his second save of the season and a Campbell win on Friday night.
Kevin Jones is the hitter. The preseason All-American Thatch is on deck. Runner at first, 2 away. Misses outside. Jones hitting .316 on the season. 3 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run. Tonight he is 0 for 3. Walked his first time up. Shares set. 1 out away from the win. Right down the middle at 91 miles an hour for a strike. Campbell with 3 runs in the third. It has held up. UNCW 2 in the 8th. Lead run at the plate, tying run at first. There's a called strike on the outside corner. Andy Schultz brought it up, brought it on the corner and helped him out. And now Campbell is 1 out away from a huge statement win at the beginning of this series, at the beginning of the CAA season. Crowd comes to his feet. The 1-2. Got him! Strike 3 Shares gets the save. Campbell gets the 3-2 wins against the defending champs. Campbell 3, UNCW 2. What a win, Colin Wolfe, for these Camels.
Yeah, and what a save there from Bryce Shares. One of the most relied on relievers so far for Chris Marks this year, a sub-2 ERA coming into this outing. A heck of a game for both teams. Great pitching tonight, clean defense from the Camels, and a Friday night victory.
Welcome into the Shortstop post-game report. Shortstop Convenience Stores, the official convenience stores of the Fighting Camels, with 2 locations here on campus and all around Eastern and Central North Carolina. Our Papa John's player of the game, a sensational Friday night start from the man that has cemented that from the Camels, Jake Murray. Murray was sensational. 6 innings, 2 hits. He gave up his first hit in that 6th inning. 3 walks, 12 Ks, 100 pitches. He gets the win tonight.
Yeah, prior to the season, you would probably say, yeah, this team starts and ends with Jake Murray. And every Friday night, Chris, it typically does, and it has so far. Like you said, 12 Ks, very dominant, got out of trouble multiple times, worked that fastball curveball combination. He's your player of the game for a good reason. Heck of a start tonight.
A sensational start for Campbell tonight from Jake Murray. Jake Murray gets the win. Campbell's 2-run home run from Dalen Thompson, the winning run. And Campbell holds on for the 3-2 victory. Game 2 of the series coming up tomorrow at 3. For our wonderful student-run crew and my broadcast partner, Colin Wolfe, I'm Chris Haymeyer saying so long. Campbell goes to 1-0 in the CAA season, taking down the defending champs. UNCW 3-2 the final for Buies Creek. Good night, everybody.